Hello and welcome to episode 4, I believe it is, of Operation Bonebox, which is our Delta Green game playing the Iconoclasts campaign. I am Andy, I'm the handler. Let me introduce you to my players. Let's start with Chris.
Hi, Chris. I'm playing Agent Khar.
Nick.
I'm Nick. I'm playing Agent Pink.
Marc.
Hi, I'm Marc. I'm playing Agent Sandman.
B.
I am B. I'm playing Agent Hawk.
Bruce.
I'm Bruce, playing Agent Jones.
And last and by no means least, Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm playing Agent Farmer.
Right. Okay, thanks. Okay, let's dive straight in. So, last session, you had bluffed you'd gone undercover into ISIL territory from your base at Kirkuk Air Base. You'd been landed by a helicopter in a couple of vehicles that you hope will pass locally. One is a Humvee that's been captured off ISIL, so has some ISIL markings on it and a flag, and is also a bit damaged and so on. And the other is a truck that is also sort of fairly weather beaten and looking a bit worse for wear, but runs very well. But all sort of as such nondescript vehicles as there can be, though the Humvee obviously is a highly military vehicle. But you're posing as various members of authority within ISIL, and the only person who's had to show an ID so far is Agent Khar, who bluffed your way past the guards at the Rassam household to allow you entry to go and search within there. And you gain entry and then shut the gates, I believe, leaving the guards outside. Though you have had some discussions about getting the guards to help you move things, but that has not yet started. And you have so you now let's remember. Let's shift you to the house map, and we'll just remember who was where. Ooh, no, sorry, that goes to there. And I need to go to there. Right. So, if I remember correctly, Agents Hawk and Pink searched the house. Agents Jones and Farmer went, followed went to the pool, spotted the sort of closed door that had once been secret but had been broken open, and went into the vault. I think Agent Sandman, if I remember rightly, you went searching around the build, looking for. I'm trying to remember what you were doing. You were looking at various bits.
It was an observation of like where the ISIL troops are all camped out, sort of rough deposition of numbers and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then I headed down towards the vault area.
Yep.
After that.
I don't think you've arrived yet, have you?
No.
Yep. And then Agent Khar, you'd stayed out by the vehicles.
That's right. Basically, I'm out the front, pretending that I'm in charge, and I'm getting everybody else to do all the work.
Yeah.
My one action that I want to do for the time being is simply move the vehicle, the Humvee, so it's closer to the front door, just in case I have to make a sudden move in.
Yeah.
So essentially, move it to a position where I can get into the house in cover if necessary. But then I'm just lounging in it in the commander's seat or in the driver's seat, just looking like I'm waiting for people to finish what they're doing.
Okay.
I'll put my earpiece radio in.
Okay. So are you on a radio net at the present moment?
We didn't discuss this last time, which is probably a mistake. We probably should be, since we're all separated out over the place.
So have you've got radios going at the present moment, and the way the compound is set up, you're behind. You remember the walls about 7 or 8 feet around it with glass on top, so there's no one can see over the wall.
Well, it seems to be pretty discreet, I would have thought.
Yeah, there's no vantage points to see in here. There are only 2 doors into the whole compound. One is this big vehicle access double door here, and then not marked on the map is another door behind the pool, which is shut. No one's inspected it yet. Because I think Agent Sandman was talking about going and wandering around in the apricot orchards as well. Just to check, so do you want to say that once you've got inside the compound, you've all set up your radios, so you're on a radio net between you? Yeah. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Can I just check one other thing? Both vehicles have got ID transponders on them, so that if coalition aircraft spot them, they can identify them as friendly. But there's this concern that ISIL can actually also track those signals and identify them as well. So when you landed, I think you initially had them on, and then when you approached we didn't actually discuss what happened when you approached the ISIL position with the guards. You remember they got that checkpoint on the road.
Switch it off.
So are they both turned off?
I would say that's a best idea.
Okay.
Yeah, they'd be turned off now.
Okay, that's fine. Right. I've got one thing that I missed last session that I need to just say. Agents Pink and Hawk, when you searched the maid's room, you found her ID, her proper ISIL ID. Okay. So if she has fled, it appears so, but if she's fled, she doesn't have her ID with her. Okay.
Just so that we know, ID. Are you saying like passport, or is it just ID that we have to show all the time?
It's an ID card that marks her as a ISIL citizen and resident of Mosul.
What are the things that she can't do without it?
If she's stopped by an ISIL patrol and doesn't have it, she will be punished. Okay.
Yep.
It also gives her full name, which is Shatha Hassoun, which I shall stick in the chat for you, just so you have it.
Thank you.
Okay. And it gives her age as 17.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Where to start? I think we'll start. Right. Is Agent Sandman, you're heading down to the vault, aren't you?
Yes, that was the plan.
Yeah. Okay. So, in the vault, Agents Jones and Farmer. What's there is much of what you had seen in the video, in the found video that you watched as the beginning of the briefing of this. There are lots of bookshelves, absolutely laden with statues and tablets. There are 10 cases full of further tablets. Some have been taken out. They don't appear to have been damaged majorly. Maybe a bit of damage from rough handling. They're clay tablets, so they're really quite brittle, but they don't appear to have been smashed. Though on the video there were threats from some of the ISIL troops about smashing them. There are lots and lots of what initially looked to be books, but as you glance at them, they're more folios, probably more journals that someone has written rather than actual sort of hardback or softback copies of books. There's a workbench with various bits and pieces on it. There's 10 of those footlocker cases, and of course, in the middle of the room is a cage with an amphora in it, And Agent Farmer, I think the thing you've done is pop the
Yeah.
the stopper into the top of it.
That's correct.
I don't think you'd done anything more than that, had you? Oh no, you had one thing you'd done is you'd found the bag that on the video you'd seen one of the ISIL put the journal that was on the desk into, so you have recovered that. Okay, and that is another folio. Have you looked at the contents of that yet? I can't remember.
No, I was just about to say, was that written in a particular handwriting or language? Because I want to look at the other folios and see whether this is just diary 36 in a series.
It is. I'm not sure if 36 is a low enough number. The journals are all appear to be written in the same hand and in the same language, which is ancient Aramaic, which I think from memory you speak.
Ancient. Jesus.
It's an
I
ancient
speak that.
language. Yeah, is it? I think. Boom, 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 boom. Ancient Jones.
Aramaic or Akkadian?
Akkadian. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Right. Okay. So, I think we're going to have to organise the sort of the bulk stuff that comes out, but I'd like to grab all the folios and journals myself. I want to kind of go through those relatively carefully and make sure they're not taken. To me, that seems to be the key to figuring out at least learning what he'd learned. Agent Farmer, I think we need to get some more people in here and start taking this stuff out. It looks safe. It looks secure.
Without doubt, there's got to be there's way too much just.
You just had to say it looks safe. It looks secure. You just had to say it. I can already see Andy gearing up for it.
What's the priority? So the M4 is the priority, and then do you want to prioritize? Just have a quick look at the boxes. Prioritize what order that you want them going in.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah.
I'll go and grab someone.
Well, sorry, I was going to say, bear in mind, you're on radio net, but your radios don't work when you're in the vault. That was it.
Yes.
Yeah, because we'd used mobile phones, I think.
You were using mobile phones before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're now switching to radios. Just to say, as you start to go out, Agent Sandman arrives. So, Agent Sandman, you're now present as well.
Oh,
did he have a computer originally in the videos, Andy?
No, there was no such computer. There was a satellite phone, which Sloan told you that he and his colleague took, and all that was on the satellite phone was a number for the Kurdish smugglers who were working with the other Delta Green to help Rassam move all the contents in front of you. Okay.
Sandman. All looks safe and looks safe and secure in here. There's a few more journals than I was expecting. Bit of light time reading, but
it's a hell of a lot.
We need to start carting this stuff out. I'm going to do a first pass.
You had also,
Farmer suggests.
If you remember, you had bought sort of packing crates with you. In the back of the truck are some packing crates. Yep.
Well, I'll make myself useful while I'm standing out there by starting to unload those and put them into useful places. But if I hear any sounds of anybody approaching the gate, I'll make sure I'm looking in a more relaxed posture, waiting for somebody else to do it.
Okay.
Somebody wants to give everybody else a shout. We can start organising some sort of gang line.
Sorry, Agent Khar.
Round them up.
Agent Khar, please make an alertness check.
Oh dear. Right.
Agent.
Start.
Sorry, where's that? Okay, right. Okay. You have a feeling you're being watched. Okay. Just that, that hairs on the back of your neck type feeling that someone or something is watching
I
you.
stop moving boxes and start lounging around, looking like I'm kicking back, but I'm looking out for any points that might have Overwatch on me from outside the buildings.
Okay, come back to you. Farmer, Jones, and Sandman. What are your alertness skills, please?
51.
21.
Sorry. There's 40.
Right. Yeah, I'm not requiring a dice roll. As you're starting to look around the room and so on, and I think you've got some torches, or you've turned lights on as well. One of you, probably Sandman, as he's got the highest alertness. There is a small knife on the workbench. It looks a bit like a letter opener, but razor sharp.
What colour is the blade? Is it metal?
Yep. Might.
Has it got any sigils, symbols, or anything else?
It's got
on it.
A word. Well, it's got a word in Arabic, a nonsense word.
I can read it.
Carved on the blade. Yes, a nonsense word. Something that spells out. Well, the letters spell out Azahoth.
Sounds like too many consonants in that to be safe. It means nothing to me. Does it mean anything to anybody else?
I've put the spelling in there. If you have an occult check, sorry, an occult skill, what occult skills have you three got? I'm assuming you're showing this to the other two.
Yeah.
60.
40.
I think it's like 0. Yeah, no, 10.
10.
Base. Yeah.
So you've got 10. Sorry, what was Sandman?
40.
And did you say 60 for?
Yeah.
Sandman and Jones, please give me a occult check at minus. Can you do a minus 40 on the?
Yes, there is that unfortunate level.
Sorry, have you got? Did you say you've got 40 or 50?
Yeah, I said I got 40, so
I'm
pretty sure that'll be a
no.
zero.
So apologies, Agent Jones at minus 40. Occult check.
So was the word engraved on the handle or on the blade?
Blade.
Done.
Okay, so no. Doesn't mean anything to you.
If it's like Beetlejuice. Azahoth.
Don't do it.
Okay.
The other thing, which I have mentioned before, but just to remind you, underneath the bench are sealed plastic jugs of water and cans of preserved food, about enough to last one adult a week.
Okay. Is there a scabbard for this?
No.
Not good to carry around if it's ultra sharp.
It's ultra
That's
sharp.
very unsafe. Look, cultists really need to start keeping the sheaths for their ceremonial daggers on hand.
I know. I mean, it's health and safety gone mad.
Yeah, exactly. Look. In the United States, OSHA does a very good job of regulating cultist sites like this.
Regular inspections.
Right.
You're probably going to have to wrap it in some duct tape or something to actually make it safe.
Handrails on the staircases in the creepy catacombs. Sheaths near ceremonial daggers at all times.
Check the drawers, the desk drawers, and around the little spaces that this could have been sort of secreted away.
Yeah.
Or a box that it came in.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could, or a box that it came in, or a box that it could be.
Yeah.
That's true. It could be like a ceremonial case type deal.
Yeah,
like a velvet lined case kind of thing or something.
Okay.
Good shout.
Or just a cardboard box from the maker.
Say again.
Just a cardboard box from the maker would do it.
Well, yeah, absolutely. The worst case scenario, a bit of corrugated cardboard. And some duct tape. Just keep away from the blade. The something which occurred to me, because this is a ceremonially type thing, but did I notice any of the shards on the way in as well?
Yeah.
I wonder which one's sharper. Could see if
we can find that out later.
Anyway, cut away.
Because Agent Farmer, you gathered together some shards, didn't you? Was it Jones?
I think it was Jones who put some shards. Because being the archaeologist and that.
Is that right? Is that
nearly sliced a foot off?
That was it. Have you added that to your character sheet, to your equipment list?
No, please do. I hadn't figured it was equipment so much as just.
Well, it's just more as a reminder that it's there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, and then who is taking this knife?
Don't mind hanging on to it for the moment.
Okay, add it to your character sheet, please.
You archaeologists have got a desire.
I'm not an archaeologist, but I did seem to be carrying the dangerous stuff beforehand. So if you want to keep the danger down to one person, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, well, until we found out what this name is all about and did a bit more research, doesn't matter who's carrying it.
Oh, you're okay.
Yeah.
I'll hang on to it for the minute.
Okay, add your character sheet. Okay, Pink and Hawk. Had you finished in the kitchen?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we just wanted to check to see if we could hear what was going on down in.
And you can hear conversations. Yeah. It's slightly muffled, but yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to see whether it was directly linked. I think Hawk had done a video or pictures and then did a audio diary thing of everything that she's seeing.
Mm-hmm.
We've done our checks in here and we were going to move on to the next thing. But I mean, did these guys ask for help over the radio? Have they asked for our help, or are we still
Not yet. Free to? We were cataloguing the area, but I did say somebody should go out and get everybody together. But I'm trying to figure out what's the right order of things to do.
I'm going to go and get people. I can let the boss know and get people to give some hands moving things up.
Okay. So does that mean Pink and Hawk, you're going to join the other three?
Yeah. If they've asked, then absolutely. We'll do that first because that seems to be the most important area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jones, this is a lot of probably information coming from you, but just to be clear, the shelves in here are laden with ancient Babylonian and Assyrian statues, and hundreds of carefully tagged and labeled clay tablets written in such languages as Akkadian, Aramaic, Sumerian. There are gaps. Some of the shelves are empty. There's some gaps in the cataloguing system where tablets it appears that some tablets have been removed. And looking at them, those tags appear to be on the tablets that are in the cases.
Is there anything obviously not accounted for?
Give me a investigation check, please. At +20.
Find it? I would. What's that under?
Is investigation the right skill name? Have I made up a skill?
I don't have one called investigation.
No, it's not investigation.
I think it's search.
Search. I mean search. Sorry, I mean search. I've made up a skill. I meant search.
Plus what? 20.
20, yeah.
Critical.
Right, you are absolutely certain that what someone has done is separate out all these tablets that are in the boxes, in the cases, they are all in Arcadium cuneiform, and they appear to be all related to the same work, which translates into English. Which I don't be able to speak, but they translate into English as "Winds Unknown to Adad."
Well, those winds are certainly unknown to me.
Are you a dad?
No, but they're also unknown to me.
So what were they written in?
They're written in Arcadian, but also in one of the cases is a folio which appears to be a translation of the Winds Unknown to Adad into modern Arabic.
Good.
I'll definitely take that.
Well, that's in that. It appears that there's definitely some thought process going on what has been gathered for removal.
Yeah, all right. So I think, a lot of the statues and stuff, although interesting, could be marked as a lower priority if we've got space at the end. Obviously, the amphora and the tablets are key. I've got the folios anyway. Is there anything else obvious in here that we think that should be included, or something that stands out, or that might be on a separate shelf? I mean, we don't need the food and the water, do we?
Nope.
So we should just gather everybody together, get everybody in the room, and start unloading the stuff.
Did anyone check the library?
No one's checked the library yet at all. No, sorry. I think Sandman went in, but more for observation from it rather than going through it.
I'm just wondering if more of those journals might be up there.
Well, we can tackle one room at a time.
Yep.
Or split up.
Yeah.
Sorry, just a further piece of information for Agent Jones. Because yes, have you got the anthropology skill?
Yes, a little bit.
Okay, but you've got occult at 60, don't you? So yeah,
Yep.
The artifacts still on the shelves. There's a theme to them. They all have significant roles in the offering of prayers to gods, the placation of demons, and both the issuing of and protection from curses.
Okay.
Whether those actually have any real effect, who knows?
Well, if anything comes to mind in terms that might be particularly have any efficacy, I'll take it. But otherwise, or tag it for taking. But otherwise, if we've got space, great. If we don't, this is not quite what we're here for.
Okay.
First thing that comes to mind when I hear that is the film The Mummy and Benji when he keeps holding up the different holy symbols around his neck.
Oh my gosh, that scene. The scene kills me to this day.
Agent Khar, please give me another alertness check.
Yeah.
I should be near. I should be near enough to Khar to actually catch his attention in a second.
Okay, you can give me an alertness check as well, then, Agent Farmer.
Okay.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why I'm not. Maybe that's why the horror. We've just we've gotten mistaken. We feel like we're in a mummy movie. It hasn't hit yet, but it will. It will.
Almost like being in a movie. It is.
Almost like being in a mummy movie, specifically the mummy movies. Because people die horribly in those movies too. Like, don't make no mistake here.
Now, almost like being in a movie, Agent Farmer. Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not Agent Farmer.
No, I know you're not. I'm talking to Agent Val.
Okay.
Agent Khar, you've still got that vague feeling that you're being watched. Yeah. And then Agent Farmer,
Right.
you come out to speak with Agent Khar, and you get this feeling as well, but you see the source, something that's quite innocuous. It seems to have not attracted Agent Khar's attention. There's a cat sat on the wall, off in one corner. You guys are by the parking area here. It's right over here in the corner here. Can you see where I'm pinging on the bottom left of the map?
So where was that?
A cat.
Oh, an angry cat.
That.
Okay.
Quite an unfriendly looking cat.
You know why? It's got glass in its paw.
Fair enough.
And it just seems to be watching you both.
Specifically us two.
Well, it was watching watching Khar, but now as far as you've arrived, it seems to be watching you both.
Okay. No worries. I'll literally go up to the car window, and just say to Agent Khar, we're definitely going to need to get people to give us a hand pulling these out. There's way too much for us. Also, I've really decided I don't like cats here.
It's not ideal, is it? Oh well, not our biggest problem probably at the moment.
No, but you know that goofy woo-woo vibe that people were on about? There's a cat over my shoulder on the wall, and he was staring intently just at you until I turned up.
Oh, okay. Cats do that sort of thing.
Glancing over there.
This is what working for Delta Green does for you. You start suspecting the cats.
Yeah, I don't think Agent
It's a glitch in the Matrix.
Until it starts doing anything more suspect, I'm going to pay attention, but not.
Yeah.
Well, you could just casually shoot it.
No, the gunshots will attract the unwanted side.
Hey, that'd be very in character for the type of scumbags we're trying to pretend to be here.
Yeah.
Bags. Yeah.
We're playing characters who are playing characters.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
So, have we decided what we need to be taking yet? We definitely do need this. Need help.
We need a lot of help to get this stuff out onto the truck.
So the Amphora the Amphora is a definite.
Could the Amphora be managed by 6 of us? I'm not quite sure how
right.
big it is.
I'm just going to give you
nearly as big as me.
Managed by 6 of us then.
Yeah, and the number of crates, each crate looks like it's going to be a 2-man job to get it out.
But there's only 10. The other thing is, if you want to pack up anything else, there's obviously the you need some time to do that. It's all a question of how long you want to spend here, really.
Before we pack anything up into these things, I'm going to ask whoever seems to be in charge of this particular room, which seems to be probably Agent Jones, maybe, because he's sort of most knowledgeable on this. So I'm going to ask Agent Jones, should I take some pictures before we move anything, just of the Amphora and around? I know we've got the video, but
No, that makes sense. Catalogue it just in case the positioning is important. That's a good idea.
Yeah, so I just quickly sort of shuffle everybody out of the way, super quick, get some sharp focus.
Get a good picture of the cage as well.
Yeah, so like
it might be
getting all the what I would consider the important parts around the cage and the floor as well, to see if there's any because I'm assuming it's probably going to be quite dusty, and maybe we're going to see some scuffle prints and blood spots or
blood
something.
stain. It's got splatters of blood.
Oh, it's
all over it. Yeah.
No, that's perfect. I want to make sure I get everything.
Okay. And there's lots of drag marks in the blood and stuff where bodies have been dragged out and scuffs of boot prints. Yeah. Clearly people have been in here and collected the bodies. Agent Farmer, from your experience looking at that amphora, you would estimate it's probably about half a ton in weight. So how many people do you think it takes to lift half a ton?
Well, if you're Eddie Hall, one. But we're not Eddie Hall, so
4, decent lift.
4. Okay.
Yeah.
So you could manhandle it between 4 of you if you wanted to do that, or you could get other people involved. It's entirely up to you.
Keep it simple.
That's what I think, but I could go and try and round up a couple of helpers. But I think the less kerfuffle we create, the better. So if you
just be ready. If we end up struggling with this, then we can reach and go out and cajole others to do it. But if we can do this on the quiet and relatively without dropping it.
Is there by any chance a trolley or anything in the garage?
A what, sorry?
Trolley or something that might be useful?
Oh yeah, like a pallet jack or something with like some pallets.
Big house like this might have it.
Roll me a luck check.
That's 50-50, isn't it?
Yep.
Where do I hit that?
I think you. I'm not sure if you can.
Found it. Yay!
You find some sort of small trolley designed for transporting slightly larger goods around, but it'll help. It's not. Yeah, I mean, so you could lift the amphora onto that and then wheel it round.
It'll help us get the other boxes up. A second question: this gate here, is it wide enough to get any of the vehicles through?
No.
No. Okay. In which case, we'll back the truck up. I will back the truck up to back here, so that it's minimal distance to transport things possible. Okay.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
The keys.
Right. So
I'll show you the keys.
Thank you.
Okay. So you start moving the. What are you going to move first?
Can I suggest we crack on with the boxes and pallets and lighter items first? Then, if we need to get some people in to assist with the heaviest item, the amphora, then we can go out and get them. That way, we'll minimise our exposure.
Yeah. Seems as good a plan as any. Yeah, let's roll with it.
So you start with from the sounds like the 10 cases that have already been packed up.
Yep. Bag of journals.
And and then you fill another couple of cases with these journals. Yep. Okay. Do you want to start trying to take the other statues and tablets that are on the wall, that are still on the shelves, that haven't been packed up at all?
I think we said that's the lowest priority.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're doing the amphora next, yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
So cases, then amphora,
At this
then
point,
anything
Andy,
else.
I probably will have started helping rather than standing around. So if anyone sees any trouble coming up, just give me a shout and I'll see if I can blag it. But just to say, when I finally go into the vault, do I notice anything? I haven't seen it before. Got quite high anthropology.
You notice the same thing about. There's definitely a theme to the statues on the shelves. All this, there's definitely a theme about offerings of prayers to gods, placating demons, and issuing, protecting from curses, and also cursing other people.
Bless you.
Okay. But I think nothing more than that. I don't think, unfortunately.
Okay, just wondering.
Okay. And you gather together, right? It doesn't record. 4 of you manhandling the amphora. it's sort of with the other two sort of helping and guiding. It takes a little time. It's awkward. It's quite big. It's quite heavy. It's very heavy. But it's also an awkward shape. It doesn't have any handles to grip it on or anything like that.
I think we'll round up some bits of rope or something like that to help.
Okay. You've got stuff like that in the truck, so you sort of tie ropes around it to give yourself some handles to live with. That makes it a little easier. And after a sweaty chunk of time, it's probably, I would say you've been here several hours now. It's probably because you landed it, you were dropped off by the helicopter in the dark, so it's probably midday-ish now. And you're hot, sweaty, but you've got the amphora in the into the truck, and so you've got the 10 original cases, a couple more cases with folios in, then the amphora also shoved up sequentially into the back of the truck.
Okay. Right, and there's canned food and drink in the bunker, if I remember correctly. So
yeah, you can get yourself some drinks. Yep, absolutely no problem at all. You can get some sustenance. Do you want to start packaging up these statues and tablets then?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And we don't get fit in. Make sure we've got photographs of them.
Okay. You're bagging them up, and
probably one person's like photographing them as someone else is bagging them up. Like they photograph, then hands to bagger bags up, then hands to person to carry out to truck.
So probably in that case, it's probably Hawk photographing. I'd imagine Jones and Khar, because they know what they're doing with archaeological things, bagging up, and then the other three putting things in the truck. Yeah.
Shifting.
Yeah, probably.
Makes sense.
Asian farmer.
Yes.
You've just put a case of things in the truck, and you notice something that strikes you as odd. You've been moving things around to just sort of bit of the Tetris style jigsaw puzzle, fitting cases in and so on, and you spot that the stopper you put in the top of the amphora is lying next to the amphora on the sort of bed of the truck. Appears to have fallen out.
I'm going to put it back in and get some electrical tape. That's my pocket. I just want to tape it on.
Okay. Give me an alertness check. Give me an alertness check, please. At my actually no, straight check.
Straight. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Thank you for that. Right.
Oh, actually, before I put it onto the put the stopper back in, I'm going to do something stupid.
No.
Oh no.
I'm going to shine a light in it over the top, and if nothing happens, I'm going to look into it in case anything got into it.
Oh no.
Yeah. How big was the opening? I can't remember.
Just enough to suck you straight through into another realm.
Well, there's a little cat around. The little cat might have gone into it, so you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Bad kitty.
Probably the neck of it is about that diameter, roughly.
So big enough for a cat to get in then.
Yeah.
Thin cat.
Yeah.
Right.
Prepare to be folded in many dimensions.
Yeah.
Origami, human origami.
You shine your flashlight in there, your torch in there, and
so I do that before I look in.
Oh, okay. So you fly, and you're standing at the side. You can see sort of a bit of the you're standing at an angle. So it's a bit of the inside of the neck of the amphora appears to light up.
No movement. Okay, in that case, I will look in.
Okay.
There's a cat inside.
Ooh, he's staring into the abyss.
2 eyes.
3 eyes.
You stare in.
3.
The light shines in, and it shines and shines and shines down.
You're literally staring into the abyss.
There does not appear to be a bottom.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be taping that up.
Make me a sand check, please.
Sure.
Get away with that easy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Marv.
That's fair.
Yeah, absolutely fair.
That was mild. He is a kind and merciful.
You don't lose any sand.
Well, there you go. You
Nice
didn't. The abyss didn't stare back this time.
This time. Although, considering I think I've got the lowest SAN out of the entire party, I'm surprised to survive that.
Yeah. Okay. Hey. You then put the stopper back in,
and then use electrical tape just to tape it back in place.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's a comical image in my mind now because it's your character doing like this and then kind of, oh.
Yeah. Oh, right. Just so you know, the electrical tape is the green and yellow for Earth.
Okay.
So grounding it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God.
Right. And you keep on. Boxing up the remains of the statues and tablets that were there on the shelves, and stack all those up. There's really quite a good collection here. Those of you who have any archaeological skill and knowledge, this is really quite an impressive collection.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, definitely.
Sorry, did you say we were at the library now?
No. This was just looking at
sorry.
Statues, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. Anyone with an archaeological skill can make me a skill check.
I made it.
Unfortunately, you did a critical.
Oh, okay. Didn't make it.
No modifier.
No modifier. Sorry, no. That's not a critical, unfortunately. Right. Okay. Right. Leave that. Okay. Right. Sorry. So you finished emptying of everything. The only thing you've left in here really is sort of furniture, like the workbench and the chair and stuff like that, and the cage that the amphora was in. But that is physically bolted to the floor. Okay.
Is it just steel cage?
So it appears, yes. Sorry, iron cage. Iron cage bolted to the concrete floor.
Iron, not steel.
Sunday.
Cold.
Sorry.
Iron.
Sorry, iron, not steel. Yes, correct.
Bit unusual.
And that has some meaning for sort of grounding evil spirits and demonic presences. Cold iron.
Yeah, iron does have a very distinct mystical.
An old folklore type thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Your
Is there anything written on any part of these bars?
Give me a search check.
Yeah, standard.
Yep.
Oh, no, I don't spot it. Whatever it is.
Don't forget to tick things that you fail.
Oh yes, light and shade.
Okay, and then I think several. I think led by Agent Hawker, moving up to the library. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if we're gonna carry on doing the important areas first, so we know that the library and in bedroom 4 there's like a lab as well, isn't there?
Yeah. The library is actually the library is split into sort of two. Bedroom 2
and 3.
Yeah, bedroom 2 is a library with books. Bedroom 3 is a library of periodicals. So let's just to tell you what's in there. So bedroom 3 is the simpler one. Looking at it, the bookshelves are filled with issues of magazines and journals on archaeology and anthropology in half a dozen languages dating back to the 1950s. It is an absolute treasure trove of old journals that are probably on microfiche somewhere in a good library.
Hawk says to whoever's with her, which assumedly is kind of everyone.
Anyone who wants to be up there can be, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I definitely like to cast my eye if there's any books that would either be rare or that I haven't read or that I would like to. I'd certainly like to keep an eye out for those.
Yeah, I think I'm
not going to worry too much.
Into my guard position, standing, trying to look nonchalant near the vehicles.
Okay. I'm going to stay with the truck. Keep the AK nearby.
Okay.
All right. I'll go with the eggheads as their security.
Okay.
So we've got security on the truck and security on the eggheads.
On the radio, I ask everyone else to pick up a couple of anthropology periodicals. Something to read.
Okay.
I suggest that we only look at anything that's rare for that we're not going to be able to find the information on online or a local library. Well, I don't know what local libraries are going to be around here, but anything online that we can't read, maybe we just take those, and anything that looks handwritten, and I'll just photograph the rest.
Okay. The books this is in bedroom 2. The books range widely in history, poetry, mythology, folklore, archaeology, and religion. They're written in Arabic, English, French, and German. There are translations of manuscripts originally in Egyptian hieroglyphics, Demotic Egyptian, Babylonian, Akkadian, Latin, Ancient Greek, Turkish, Classical Arabic, Linear A and B, and Sanskrit.
You mean Akkadian or Arcadian?
Akkadian. Akkadian, which is the same language as the tablets. There are antique travellers' journals describing the point of view of outsiders travelling to Mesopotamia in the 19th and 20th centuries. There are copies of the Quran from as far apart as Java and Tunisia. There are gaps in the shelves where things have been removed already.
Can I quickly do the picture of the room first, sort of snap everything before we start moving anything? And I think probably Jones and maybe even Farmer are going to be the ones to figure out which of these books are actually important. What I want to look at or look for is anything else, anything that looks like it might be used to store something in it, like notes or anything. Any desks with hidden compartments, etc.
Okay, there is a reading desk which, going through the drawers, appears to just have reading glasses, pens, papers, and envelopes in it. But by all means, give me a search check, please. Pink, Jones, and Farmer, what are you doing in bedroom 2? Or have you not gone to bedroom 2?
No, I want to be just continuing to Tetris the back of the truck, making sure that it's all there, and then once I'm happy that it's all Tetrised and good to travel, I'll want to sit in the back, looking out. So like at the entrance.
Okay. Okay, at the back of the truck. Okay. So Jones and Pink, you're up with Hawk. Are you doing anything in bedroom 2?
Just looking at books and anything that might be sort of artifacty, and just keeping a general eye out for anything that might catch my eye.
Okay.
But There's nothing specific.
There's nothing artifact wise. Give me a search check as well, please. What's Pink doing? Just keeping watch.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye out for threats. I'm checking, threat vectors. I'm probably entering rooms first, before the rest of the team does, to make sure they're clear.
Yep. It's
We
all
do really
quiet
well
up
in
here.
this library.
Right. There are possibly some books that Agent Jones hasn't read here, but a lot of this stuff you've either seen or read before yourself, or have read other books where the author has referenced and sourced information from books here. There's nothing striking you here as, oh my god, he's got a copy of such and such, I must take it. Okay. Hawk, going through the desk drawers, you can't find any hidden compartments or anything hidden there at all. No.
Okay.
Okay.
Finished in this room, we'll go into the next. Do the same thing, really. I know that it's. What did you say was in this room? It's.
So, bedroom 3 is all periodicals.
Periodicals, solid.
And Khar asked for someone to pick up a couple for him, but which you can do, and they're periodicals in once again Arabic, English, French, German, but also Italian and Spanish, and they're archaeology and anthropology magazines and journals dating back to the 1950s. So there's over 60 years worth of back issues here of monthly magazines and so on, and all kinds of publications. As I said, it's quite a treasure trove, but all of this should be available, if not on the internet, then certainly at any good library that.
There's probably some treasures there that issues that are lost, and articles are by eminent scientists and things that have not been found, very rare or something. But I'm not. It's mundane. It's trivial. It's nothing to do with what we're doing. So just leave it.
There's some big eBay value items here.
Yeah.
Big for eBay.
Yeah.
I think I just do the same thing.
Okay.
Take as many photos and then grab something for Khar to read.
Okay. Anything Jones wants to do?
I don't think so. At this point, there's nothing standing out.
No.
I mean, the periodicals might be interesting, but I've got a ton of reading material.
Okay. And then, did you want to look at? So you sort of take some photographs, grab a few copies, but that's it. Okay. Did you say you want to do anything in bedroom 4 as well?
Yeah. So that's the lab, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or the makeshift lab.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of give that. I don't think we've actually been in this since we've come into the building, have we?
I can't remember. I think Sandman's been in here.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's probably secure. So, yeah. What's in here? Like, is there anything that we could? Again, photographs, everything, and then.
The only thing to remember is that the bathroom attached to bedroom 4 is actually kitted out as it's been modified to serve the laboratory. There's an eye wash station, and the shower's got its own water supply.
Quick question: Is Hassan the house owner?
Rassam.
Rassam, sorry, not Hassan.
Hassoum is the maid.
Yeah. Is Rassam missing? Is he one of the dead, or is he missing? Do we know?
From what Sloane said, they found 9 bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah. There seem to be 2 people missing. Who they did not find one woman, so the guess is it's the maid.
Okay.
And he did find what appeared to be a couple of old men whose hands were bound. So the logic is that it's. I mean, their skin was flayed off. So not sliced off. So the guess is that those two bodies were probably Rassam and Almundus, who's his factotum.
Okay.
Because based on the fact their hands were bound. So the thought is it's one of the ISIL men that escaped as well.
And the maid.
Gotcha.
All right. Yeah. I was going to do something, but not if we believe that the.
Okay.
So
this, just to remind you, this is it's almost like a chemistry lab. Bunsen burners. A Lendermeyer flasks, which I don't know what they are, but that's what it says here. Beakers, pipettes, and laboratory glass of all shapes and sizes. There's cabinets filled with jars of various substances. Has anyone got any sort of science type skills? Who's there?
No.
Farmers down in the truck anyway. But there's some bottles that have got sort of poisonous material symbols on them. But they're sort of small little bottles and things like that. There appears to be a small residue of a sort of gold-coloured dust on some of the equipment, but and you remember from the video this attracted some attention from the ISIL people, but that's about it.
Hawk's talking to Pink and Jones, who's there. This man spent his whole life, it seems, everything in his house seems to be geared towards whatever it was in that M4. Is that right? Do we think? Because, yeah.
Bruce, you're muted.
He seems pretty obsessive and pretty dedicated to this one topic for an extended period of time.
But we think then that there's going to be anything important in this room that we might need to help us combat whatever it is.
It's just too hard to tell.
Substances. Okay. Is there like a way to gather as many things that look to me as not common materials? So if there's like saline, we don't need it. That sort of
the whole thing.
Andy, is it worth a quick flick through the journal just to see if there's any sciencey stuff that might, like, you know, try substance X and, you know, seemingly succeeded, or just, you know, something that's a little bit out of sorts with everything else?
The journal is a sort of almost like a diary, so you're flicking through entry by entry by entry.
Is there any kind of are there any I'm just flicking through to see if like a chemical symbol or something stands out rather than
no.
Just a quick.
No, there's occasional notes about actually. Give me a search roll, please. No modifier.
Oh, no.
No, you can't find anything.
That's fine.
All
right.
If you were to spend time reading, I'm sure you could find some things. But
Hawk wants to literally.
Actually, no. Hang on. Sorry. Pause a sec. I'm being harsh because you've got a search skill of 60, and I think that's I've got to remember not to make you roll all the time. And this is a case where I don't think you need to roll. Without spending time reading vast amounts of it, flicking through it, there is a comment from about 2 weeks ago, where and this is the journal that was found within the vault, made enough gold for the down payment to the smugglers.
Ancient alchemy.
Chemical X. What? I think Hawk's probably just going to be grabbing anything small enough to come with us.
Right. So
we know why there's so much sand now in the pool. He's been panning for gold in the desert.
What? Hawk's just looking really confused.
How's he made
Right.
gold?
Have you got any? Well, you can't just make gold. You know that. But have any of you got? Have either of you got any science skills?
No.
The three of you.
Answered that one already.
Sorry, apologies. Pink, have you got any science skills?
No, I don't think so. No,
Okay.
I do not.
Okay. Right. All three of you can give me int times 5 rolls, but at -40.
All of us.
Yeah, all three of you present.
Oh, sorry. I put plus. That will be a failure. Not
that will be, we can.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Wow.
I straight up fumbled it.
So you click. I think you just click on your stat.
Oh, it's the
Your
worst
stat
fumble
name is a
too.
button.
Oh yeah, okay. And then plus or minus what?
For -40. Okay.
So close.
What a shame.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. There's lots of scientific gear here. It's all a bit baffling for you lot.
What does this button do?
I'm sorry, it's not within my bailiwick.
But most of it is sort of glassware and things like that. There's no notepads. There's no explanations of anything. Okay.
I've taken pictures of everything before we started moving stuff.
Yeah.
There's
I
don't know if.
So there's personal protection gear like gloves, lab coats, goggles, and there are respirators. 2 respirators.
Okay. I mean, can we use respirators?
You've got access to better. You've got.
No, I was about to say.
Yeah.
I don't want
These are pretty decent respirators, but then you've got access to better.
I want to take obviously a picture or just a dictaphone note of the fact that he's got these things to help him with whatever it is that he was doing.
Okay.
I don't know if I could just do a quick normal search in here for like hidden compartments, things, anything that he was like hiding in a away sort of thing. But other than that, I just
give me a search check.
Right. Okay.
If anyone wants to search,
we are continuing our series of epic search failures.
Clearly,
at least you're
too tired.
At least you can tick some skills.
Yeah, true.
Don't forget
to tick true.
Skill, Andy.
Sorry, say again.
It's the same fucking skill.
Okay.
Can we tick it multiple times just to make the point that we're really bad?
No, unfortunately you can't. Right. Okay. So you've very thoroughly searched there. Back to the others. So Farmer, you finished playing Tetris with the stuff in the back, and then sat down, kept a watch out. Nothing strange happens to you. Nothing strange occurs to you. Khar and Sandman, you were standing at the front of the vehicle. There's nothing you can see going on strange at all. Occasionally you hear the sort of padding sounds of a couple of guards walking their sort of
in the perimeter.
The perimeter.
March, is it?
Their perimeter patrol. Yeah. There's two pairs continuously. Sorry.
Are they regular or just getting? Or they? bored with it.
They appear to be doing it very, very efficiently at the moment. Is your estimation as a trained military man?
That's a shame. Right. Well, actually, I'm going to stay out of the sun. I'll have a little examination of this knife in private, perhaps sitting in the cab.
Okay.
Of the truck.
It's bloody sharp. It's got this strange Arabic word written on it.
Mm-hmm.
When you say sharp, do you mean like sharper than we could actually sharpen a knife to nowadays?
No, razor sharp.
So okay.
So it's so who was playing with the shards? It was Farmer, wasn't it? Farmer and Jones. Farmer and Jones. Have you relayed the information about the shards to the others?
Yeah, probably even comment. Yeah, that looks as nearly as sharp as the knife you've got.
No, the shards are sharper than the knife. The knife is razor sharp, but that's clearly been done by someone. It's very sharp, but yet you could get a knife that sharp. I mean, you could buy on the internet some fancy, probably Japanese manufactured.
I've got one here.
Yeah, your character's own personal. Yeah. But fairly easily you could buy some fancy Japanese cooking knife off the internet, and that would be very, very sharp, and probably as sharp as this. Yeah, it's really sharp, but not remarkably so. The shards, the obsidian shards, are remarkably so.
Oddness.
Can we maybe play with them in an experimental environment once we're somewhere safe?
Jones collected up a number of them, so I think it was Jones did. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Throw them like throwing stars or something.
Okay. So it comes to the point where the guys inside the house have finished searching. Is there anything more you wish to do?
We did a once over of the house for security when we first got here, didn't we? So there's no other rooms that we think of that are particularly of interest.
Not that you're...
Andy, there is something else we need to do. We have come in here pretending to be members of the religious police and internal security. Based on my knowledge of that, leave whatever telltale signs that those two organisations would leave when they had searched a house like this. If we've been too careful and not destroyed enough, make that right by destroying things. If they are not, if we've been too destructive, tidy it up, and so on.
You have.
If someone would do any kind of religious things, like hanging religious symbols somewhere, do that. Yeah, just make it look like. You see what I mean?
You write out a document stating that you have removed artifacts of heretical nature for disposal.
Okay, great. What, then pin that on the door or something?
Yeah, probably actually to the door into the vault, because that's where everything's been removed from.
Yeah. Okay. Right. And then write something for the guards, the guy in charge just outside as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Andy, because we're not overlooked, because it's an 8-foot perimeter wall and the gates are shut, I'm going to go and prep the RPG-7.
Okay.
Just in case.
Okay. So that's currently in the back of the Humvee.
Okay. Well, that's right. That's still within the boundary of the house.
Yeah. So you can back of the so you stick a rocket in the RPG-7. It's slightly cumbersome and unwieldy in the back of the Humvee. You wouldn't be able to fire it from within the Humvee. The back blast would kill everyone.
Not unless you open the other. Yeah, the back blast. Unless you open the window.
That still might not be a good idea. But if you were
I'm joking.
If you were to stand up in the gun through the gunner's hatch and fire it from where the gunner would man the 50
that
cal,
mounting.
then you could fire it from there, yes, or dismounted, obviously. Okay.
Yeah, that's in the Humvee, isn't it? I'm just wondering because I'm going to be driving. I've got the truck to drive, haven't I?
Do you want to move it to the truck?
I don't know. Actually, probably the Humvee's probably the better place to have it because it's got the ordnance. It's whether and it's going to have more people in it.
Okay.
Because if it all goes south really quick, then we want to have something which might be able to deal with a machine gun position or two. Because it'll cut us to shreds. Certainly the truck.
Okay, so
is there anyone on the team that is with the CIA? Is it CIA? No. Ignore me. It's fine. I was thinking of MI6, but that's British.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Right. Is there anything further? It's now, by this stage, it's now mid-afternoon. Still baking hot outside. You've all had a good swig of some water and a bit of food, so you're all refreshed. Is there anything further you wish to do, or do you want to start to exit?
Anything else?
Okay.
Yep.
So, who is travelling in what vehicle and where in what vehicle?
Commander seat of the Humvee.
Yeah. And is Pink still driving the Humvee?
Probably.
And then Sandman is driving the truck. Where are Hawk, Jones, and Farmer going, please?
I'm
Go
going
back
to
to
be
where I
in the back
was.
of the truck.
Yeah, I was in the Humvee, so I'll stay there with a couple of the journals to read.
Okay, so Jones is in the back of the Humvee. Farmer, do you say you're going to travel in the back of the truck?
Yes, that's right.
Yep. Okay. And Hawk, where are you going, please?
Wherever there's room. Truck or no preference. So, is there room in the truck?
How you got?
You can.
Humvee.
There's room in the cab of the truck. There's room in the back of the truck, and there's room in the back of the Humvee. So your choice entirely.
Back of the Humvee.
Back of the Humvee.
Back of
Okay.
the Humvee. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. You start to start up the vehicles, open the gates to the Rassam compound, and move out. And now I haven't got some. So just to remind you, where is it? So this is this version. Sorry, let me put it up on screen. Has that just popped as a handout? Just popped up with
Yep.
So now you originally came from the north, because what you've done is you've gone cross country and then joined the road a little bit to the north of here. Yeah. You drive out the compound. The guards look at you with interest, but nothing further. Khar, you were talking about writing out something for them.
Yeah, I assume that's what you described this as a bit quite bureaucratic organisation. So using my, I'm quite good at bureaucracy and.
What is your bureaucracy check? Your bureaucracy skill, sorry.
60.
Okay, it doesn't
so,
require.
Okay, doesn't require anything. Okay, what write anything out for them? I'll just.
No, sorry, doesn't require a skill check. I meant.
Okay, but I've left sort of officious notes on all relevant doors in the in the compound itself.
And you're probably putting one on the compound doors, main doors as well. Yeah. Okay. From you probably don't need to give anything to the camp, whoever's in charge of this ISIL unit. But as you start to drive up, second, Chris,
would it be considered normal to or polite to? I assume so.
Okay.
West European out of there. their camps and their responsibility. So
okay, so you drop it. Well, as you start to drive away from the house complex, you've pinned something on the door, and you see that one pair of guards, rapidly joined by the second pair of patrolling guards, come up and are just being nosy and reading what it says. And then as you head through the camp, as once again, there's people watching you. They're clearly interested, but they don't clearly feel like they're in position to stop you. But from the sounds of it, you stop and hand a note over to someone.
If the guard, someone senior or something like that, just to confirm.
Someone sits. It's simply someone who's a bit older. Comes across and just has the look of someone who's in charge, and you hand him the note, and he sort of gives you a nod of thanks and starts to read it and says, "Is there anything more I can do for you?"
No, follow-up team will be dispatched, no doubt.
Okay. Thank you.
For the time being, follow your previous orders.
Thank you. We will do. We still need to guard the house. Good. Okay. Thank you. Okay. They then
Wait, their job was to guard the house. They're terrible at this.
Thank goodness.
I'm in a random blind.
I'm not gonna let the enemy know when they're making a mistake.
Yeah.
But then I think I just love the fact that Chris asked to play a character that is essentially perfect at bullshitting this in this situation, and it makes perfect sense to me. Anyway, right, you drive out towards the road. What direction are you going in? Where are you going?
Well, we came from the north, so I think we want to head to the north. It would look more natural, wouldn't it? Or
no, I thought we discussed going south to the airport.
I can't remember. Okay.
South.
If exit plan south, then go that way.
You talked about going south. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you came. Okay. Right. So you turn and head off south. Okay. And
Sorry.
We're supposed to radio the pickup team, aren't we? Once we've got to a certain distance.
Right. You're heading down the road, and you've gone. How far do you want to? How far are you staying on the road? Because
I'd say between 3 and 5 miles before we switch on the RFIDs or call for the pickup at the arranged pickup location.
So is the pickup location the same as where you were dropped at? Where did you arrange to be picked up?
No, we arranged to be picked up at a separate location. I forget exactly where.
Because the airfield the airfield you're talking about is way to the south, and it's
the airfield.
Yeah, that's still in ISIL territory and is a potential battle area.
Yeah,
I think the idea was that we go for it.
I was saying, same as you. The idea was to head off towards the airfield as if we were going to be shipping them out somewhere.
Yeah. Go past the airfield, and then we were gonna hop off towards our extraction zone.
I don't think we're going past the airfield because that was quite a way down. I think
we just head we head towards it until we're out of sight, basically, and then we
then cut west again, east, whichever direction we were dropped in, that direction.
West. So we could head towards Hibara, past that, maybe to Kunafis. I think that's how it. Writing is very small on here.
Okay. As you start, which map are you looking at, B?
It is Operation Conquest map.
Oh, yes, that one. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe not as far down as Kunafis. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't tell the distance. In this.
Okay. So you start driving south, and I'm trying to remember. Were you going to head west up into the hills and be picked up in an isolated area up there, or were you heading east towards the river?
West, I believe.
Yeah, west, because east it gets
west.
to. There's just one crossing across the big river. It's a bit of a choke point, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that was what was discussed. Yes.
Okay, right. So you drive a little south. You've gone a couple of miles. When you spot some movement on the road ahead of you.
Okay.
It looks to be a group of civilian refugees hurriedly trying to get off the road because there are vehicles approaching, namely you.
Our vehicles are the other vehicles.
Your vehicles.
Okay, just checking.
And they sort of seem to be fleeing away from the road in fear.
How many? Just a small crowd of like family.
A family group minus any men. So
which direction are they fleeing? Are they fleeing north?
No, south.
They're going towards Rassam. Oh, are they going south? So we're going to overtake them.
Yeah.
Well, we don't really want them to be. We don't want to be seen getting off the road by anybody. So,
No. So let's go far enough past them. They can't see what we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just speed on past them and ignore them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Where do they come from? Anyway,
Probably
there've been other
Mosul?
residences along this road. Yeah, maybe it's a hell of a track, but people
Well,
do that.
you'll
Have
go
we gone
anywhere
past
to
any?
protect people, doesn't it?
That is kind of weird. isn't it?
There are occasional residences, yes.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
And you have seen a few other people. You start to see some other people. There do appear to be refugees, and you do come across, and bizarrely, you come across some heading south and some heading north. The ones heading north seem to be less fearful of you and don't flee. The ones heading south seem to try and hide. It seems to be quite a chaotic area.
Okay.
And you've now gone about 5 miles, but you keep sort of encountering civilians, and so you're trying to find somewhere to sort of cut sideways off the road without being seen, and you keep encountering civilians. And after you've gone about 5 miles, you hear it's a faint sound of an explosion, but it's clearly quite a loud explosion quite a distance away. And then further south on the road, there seems to be some pall of smoke starts billowing up from something that's exploded.
Maybe time to put our RFID things on.
Someone's already said the
Sharp eye out for any aircraft.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we should be less worried about civilians and more worried about getting involved in some sort of firefight.
I mean, in terms of the civilians, I think we stay in character. We just blow on past them as if we're,
in charge
on official business.
100%. Has anybody radioed to our people?
No, I don't think we wanted to activate that until after we got off the road, did we?
Okay, fair.
Is that what we were doing?
Yeah, seems sensible.
I think get off the road now.
Yeah.
Head west in towards the lower foothills.
I think we can head west now. I don't think anyone's going to be too suspect if there's explosion.
And give a GPS position.
Yeah.
Right, you start heading westward.
Do we have to wait until dark, or are we just going to brazen it out?
It's late afternoon now. It's not all that many hours till dark.
I think we've got to brazen it out, to be honest.
Okay, brazen it out. Right.
You head off, and
as soon as we're off the road, shall we radio then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to leave it too late and get caught in the middle of something, and it turns out that we could have had a little bit of support there. So Hawk will radio
Okay.
to say, "Hey, head into this coordinates. ETA this, blah 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 blah."
Understood. Comes back a message back. Helicopter will pickup will be 10 p.m. so that enough time for it to get really properly dark.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Warning: we have seen a explosion south of this location. Any news and any eyes in the sky on what that is? See if they've got any information.
No, I'll see if I can find out.
Thanks.
That question, however, is answered fairly shortly by something else when you're driving along and suddenly, because you're driving, you've got the sound of engines, your hearing's fairly poor, but literally you've got off road, there's undulations in the ground, and you're driving, and suddenly popping up about half a kilometre away is an Apache gunship, which pointing straight at you, hovering, ready to engage, and it sits there.
Time to turn on our.
Oh, they've already been turned on.
Yeah.
It sits there, and then it waggles its wings slightly. As such as an Apache's got wings.
Yeah.
It waggles itself slightly.
Yeah.
It's got gun pylons.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it banks away, heading south, and then as it's going, you see fairly quickly there's a second one flying, buddying with it, and there's clearly and they've got US markings on them.
I don't know about anybody else, but I need some fresh trousers.
Yeah. Don't particularly want to be eating chain gun.
Can we get home now?
I think my heart just gave out.
Oh my goodness!
I'm just used to this.
Right. And you carry on driving into the bush. Have you still got radios attached to you, by the way, or did you put those away?
I think we must have put those away, and we didn't mention it. I don't think, but
well, I'm in the Humvee. The Humvee's presumably got a vehicle radio.
Yes. But it doesn't. But the truck doesn't. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Would we not have one person from each of the things just to keep contact between us?
If you wish, or you've got mobile phones if you want to just chat them over.
Okay.
We should probably next time get a handset radio into the truck so that we can talk by radio between the two.
I thought we have handset.
Yeah, no, you've got personal radios. I think Chris is meaning something more
range
and more innocuous within the truck. So sorry, do you want one person in each vehicle on the radio net then?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
It would make sense.
So who in the Humvee, who in the truck?
Me and the Humvee.
Would it make sense more to be Marc as Sam as the driver in the truck?
I'm the driver.
Actually, no, possibly someone who's more combat aware. In the Humvee, actually, than me.
Me.
Oh,
probably.
Yeah.
But I'm also driving. So
yeah, but Pink and Sandman, you're both capable of driving and activating a radio. So yeah, okay. So Pink and Sandman got the radios. Okay, right.
Yep.
You keep heading west, up into the sort of, it's hillier ground. It's higher ground, up into the hills. You spot occasional settlements, some of which are occupied, some of which are abandoned. Couple of times, anytime you see people, they're definitely hiding away from you. Couple of times you spot children being grabbed by mothers and rushed inside and things, this sort of thing. Everyone seems to be really quite terrified. And just as it's it's starting. It's not quite dark yet. You're still driving. You've got a little bit to go. It's starting to get towards dusk. It's getting a bit darker. Not enough to need lights on the vehicles or anything, but it's starting a bit darker. You're pretty close to your pickup point you're heading to. Agent Farmer.
Yes.
In the back of the truck. So you're sat in the back of the truck. The truck's got a sort of canvas tarpaulin thing over the top of it. Yeah, over the sort of cage bit. You're sat in there. Are you sat at the back, looking out of the back and keeping a cover of the rear of anything following you? Are you?
Yes.
What do you? How are you physically sat in there?
Probably going to be sitting on one of the crates, so I can actually look out the back.
Looking out the back. Okay.
Because I can't see out the sides because the canvas is down. But if I can look out the back.
Yep. Okay. As you're looking out of the back, there is a ripping noise. The noise of electrical tape being torn.
Oh no.
And you reflexively turn to the source.
Slam my hand on the top. Slam my hand on the top to hold it on.
You're sat next to the amphora. I hadn't appreciated that.
Yeah, so you think the amphora is behind me.
Yep.
So I can with like boxes around the base of it, so it's still upright.
Yep.
Ish.
Yep.
As best we can.
Yep. You've probably lashed some ropes to keep it upright as well. But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can spin round and try and put my hand on the top.
Okay. The seal has already been pushing out, and some of the tape is tearing. Give me a strength check, please.
R.I.P. Farmer.
Yeah. Oh, gods, yeah.
Oh! You failed. Oh, no, you succeeded. Shut the fuck up.
Right.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of strength.
Momentarily, anyway.
Yeah. Just for a second or two.
Okay. You put your left or right hand?
Left hand.
And you're holding an AK in your. What?
To be honest, I would have actually let the AK fall on the sling.
Yep.
Put my hand on the top, and the left hand on the top on the stopper, and then put the right hand on the neck brace.
Okay.
So kind of like that.
You start applying some pressure back, and you start to push the stopper down, and then something with unbelievable force smashes the stopper out and smashes your hand back off. You take.
Lose the stopper.
Oh dear. I mean, the gaffer tape didn't hold.
A point of damage.
One whole point.
One whole point.
First damage. First damage there.
And your hand is bruised by the impact.
Yeah.
And the stopper comes flying out and clanks onto the floor.
I'm going to scrabble for the stopper. So like fall back slightly, keep an eye on the top of the amphora, and then try and find the stopper just by blindly looking around for it with my hands.
Okay.
Did he make any noise when he hurt himself?
He's screaming, but no one can hear anything
because he's not on the radio or anything.
Well, no, we've got the personal comms, haven't we?
No, you've only got because those look suspicious. Right. Have you made any, have you said anything or done anything, made any noise?
I will actually just shout in shock. Just shout, "Fucking stop her!"
Right. Remind me, Sandman, what your alertness is.
51.
51. You hear some noise. For some reason, farmers swearing about something behind you. There is a sort of you can turn and look back and see what's going on if you wish. There's a view through from the back of the cab into the truck.
Yeah, just take my foot off the gas slightly and just have a little glance over my shoulder.
Okay. Can you two please both look in your handouts for under the word cat? There's a new handout there as well.
Just those two.
Just those two. Something. This comes up through out of the amphora and is scrabbling around. Right. First of all, both of you make me sand checks.
Okay.
Oh, for goodness sakes!
You had the chance.
For God's sake! Uh-oh.
Hey, first sand failure.
Yeah.
Woo. And here probably comes the second.
Hey,
so you're fine, right? Farmer, you lose 4 points of sand.
Oof.
First hit point and first sand loss. You go for all
well
the
played.
records.
Okay.
Well played.
Yeah.
Now, what is Farmer's immediate reaction to seeing this thing?
Smack it. Literally.
With what?
Either,
Did we take the boom mic?
to be
that
honest,
was removed actually, but yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably use the butt of the AK.
Okay.
I know I'm not going to shoot.
Okay. You reach down and grab the AK.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, you see that it's grabbing. It's it's blindly grabbing for something, trying to grasp something.
So
okay.
Smack it with the AK.
Just a sec. One thing quickly first. Sandman, what are you doing?
Bloody hell. What the hell's that? Put the brakes on, stop the truck, and pull my sidearm like the pistol.
Okay, right. Pink, you've across the.
And as I'm doing that, sound the horn.
Okay.
Break it, sound the horn.
Pink, you're instantly aware, because you would be, that the truck has stopped behind you, and then over the noise of your engine, you can just about hear the horn. So we'll come to you guys you guys can start to react in a sec. So, Sandman, you pull your pistol. Right. Agent Farmer. Right. Now. Right. So. Please make me a melee weapons check.
Melee weapons.
Yeah.
Ooh. Really good success.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Right.
First to take damage, first to do damage, I guess.
Yeah.
You smack it with the butt of your AK. And I'm just trying to remember. Does anyone remember are the weapon rules in the handler's book or the
In the agent's handbook.
They're in the agent's handbook, are they? Right. I'm looking in the wrong book. That's why I can't find them. How much do we think a
D4, I'd have thought.
Yeah.
For a club.
Weapons? I've got a feeling it's a D6, but I just want to double check.
This game is slightly more generous with the damage.
Yeah, brass knuckles are a D4. Club or a baton is a D6.
D6. Yeah. Roll me a D6, please.
Baseball's a D8. Yeah. Baseball bat's a D8.
What? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think that's two-handed. That's a two-handed swing. So.
Yeah.
So that 4 points of damage.
Yes.
Nice. Kapow.
Okay. Right, I'm just going to move you over to here because we're not actually got any relevant map at the moment. Right.
Rifle butt's actually a D8.
Second, sorry.
Rifle butt's actually a D8.
Oh, okay.
Go on, roll me a D8.
Will I take the D6?
Yeah, I'll let you have as it was a referee mistake. I'll let you have the D6 roll. Yeah. Right.
No.
Okay. You smack it. Yeah. And you move it. Yeah.
Right.
But you've no idea how much damage you've done. If you hit someone like that, there would be some sort of obvious sign of injury.
Yeah.
But looking at that, you can't tell.
Does it flinch backwards at any point?
It moves, and then it extends a bit further out and grasps towards you.
In that case, I'm going to actively look for the stopper.
Right, hang on a sec. It gets to try something. Hang on a sec.
Bets on Farmer ending up in the amphora.
That origami folding after all.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been sucked out into space.
It grasps your AK.
Okay.
It has hold of the butt of your AK.
Okay.
And starts pulling. What do you wish to do?
I'm actually going to get out of the sling.
Okay, so you disconnect yourself from the sling. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Can you give me a no, wrong one.
Dex check.
Yeah, is it? Dex. A Dex times 5. We got.
Oh no, it's athletics, isn't it? That's kind of throwing stuff and all sorts, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Your choice of Dex times 5 roll or agility or athletic skill, whichever you wish of those two.
So if I just hit a straight Dex, that should give me the times 5 automatically.
Yeah. Okay. Just while he's running that, Sandman, you've brought the truck to a stop. Drawn your sidearm. What are you then doing?
What's between me and the back of the truck? Is it glass or is it?
No, that's long gone. There's a bit of tarpaulin that's sort of tied up so you can see back.
Yeah, right. Hoik that out of the way. Is there without shooting? It is
the amphora is Farmer. Me and you.
Yeah. So is Agent Farmer in the line of fire?
If you fumble, then you will hit Agent Farmer.
Oh, that's too much of a risk.
I will actually start now shouting, shoot it, shoot
right.
it. Shoot it.
Just while Sandman's thinking what to do, cut the other 4 of you, right?
Take aim. I'll take aim for a round.
Take aim for a round, okay. Pink, you're driving. You see the truck pull to brake to a stop. And there's a faint honking of the horn. What are you doing?
Well, I'll pull to a stop. Who's in the vehicle with me?
The other 3. So, Hawk, okay. Jones, and Khar.
All right. I'll probably ask Khar to do this because Khar's, in my character's mind, the most likely to have.
Khar is sat next to you.
Okay, well, I'll turn to Khar. Keep your eye pointed down the road. I gotta see what's going on with the other car.
Okay.
And I pull out my handset. Pink to Sandman. What the hell's going on? Why are we stopping?
Right. Okay. What do the other three of you? What are the other three? So, Khar, you keeping watch forward?
Yeah. Keep our eye down the road as
requested. Okay.
As requested. Yes.
Hawk and Jones, what do you two want to do?
Turn around to look and see what's going on.
Yeah,
Literally just looking through the back window.
We'll do it.
Okay.
Both looking through the back window. What the?
Okay. What are so Pink, you're on the radio, you're not look. Did you turn and look as well?
What do you mean?
No, Pink, did you turn and look at the truck?
Oh, sorry.
Nick?
Huh? Sorry.
Did Pink turn and look at the truck as well?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. So, Hawk, Pink, and Jones, what are your alertness skills, please?
My alertness skill is 60.
Sorry, no, it's not alertness. You're actively looking. I keep doing this wrong. If you're actively looking, it's your search skills. Sorry.
Okay.
I think I've been misplaying the balance between alertness and search, but we'll get away with it. Sorry, what were the skills?
21.
Okay.
53.
Was that B, sorry?
53.
53.
Is this for search?
Search, yes.
60.
60. Right. Pink, please make me a search roll. The other two of you see this straight away. In the cab...
Any modifier?
No modifier. Search is... No, you fail. But you can tick your search if you haven't already. The other... Pink, you don't spot this, but the other two of you do. In the cab of the truck, you can see the back of Sandman, and he's in a brace position, pointing his pistol into the back of the truck. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we'll leave you that there. Back to Farmer. So you failed on that dexterity check, right? So there's an almighty pull as the AK is pulled towards the amphora. Okay. You don't detach yourself in time, and you're thrown into the amphora with a big sort of dong thud. Okay, and you have you got any? You haven't got any body armor on, have you?
No.
No. You take another 3 points of damage.
Okay.
From colliding into the amphora. The base of the AK though, you then you do manage to disengage yourself from the sling though, but you just didn't do it in time, and the AK is then pulled up and back into the amphora. And the thing you'd seen, Sandman, you can actually get a shot if you wish. You see Farmer go flying towards the amphora, and then sort of duck out of view. He's blocked from view, and then the thing is pulling his AK by the butt and is retreating back inside the amphora. Do you wish to fire at it, or?
Yeah, give it a shot.
Right. What does aiming give you? What does aiming give you in? I can't remember what aiming gives you as a bonus in this. Is it make it plus 20 to the roll? Chris, do you remember?
I can't remember. I'm just trying to look it up now.
Right. For ease, I'm just going to say it gives you plus 20. We'll work out what the proper rules are later. So, okay. Sam, give me a firearms at plus 20, please.
There you go.
Okay.
Success.
What's your damage from your pistol?
Oh, don't know if we ever wrote it down.
What is your pistol?
It was one of those check.
Okay, so that's a D10.
Yeah. Okay.
So
6 points.
6. Okay. You punch her through into the arm, and a bit of green ichor comes out. just as the arm disappears from view and drags the AK, pulls the AK down into the amphora. And the AK is wider than the neck of the amphora. And so it's smashed into pieces as it's dragged through.
So bits of it are sort of rattling around in the back of the truck then, as it's just... So it's actually smashed.
So it literally pulls the AK down, and the handle and the magazine are too big for the neck. I said the neck's about that big, so they get yanked down, and the handle and the magazine just gets smashed off.
It just disintegrates.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you made a? Yeah. Has you made a sand check yet? Yes, you have. Yes, you both. Yeah. Just double checking. Sorry, you made. You made a failed. Yeah, farmer failed and lost. Sorry, Sandman, you succeeded. You still lose 1 though. Apologies, I forgot to say that. You still lose a sand, even though you succeeded.
Aiming gives you a +20 to your next attack.
Oh, I even guessed correctly.
Thank you.
There you go.
Or remembered when I read it months ago. I probably should reread the combat rules because I haven't read them for months. Right.
Anyway, our vehicle just heard someone from their vehicle discharge their weapon.
Yeah.
We are getting out. Right.
Right. Should we leave it there? It's 2 minutes to 10, so it's probably a good point to leave it there.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll leave that as a cliffhanger of what you want to do next.
Right.
I'll get on the radio. I'll grab that radio because it's squawking away, going, "What's happening? What's happening?"
Well,
we'll pick it up
from there.
We'll pick it up from there. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And we still don't know what it looks like. All we're thinking of is a cat. That's all I can think of, is that a cat sprung out of this thing, grabbed his gun, and taken it with him.
You got the cat stuck in there. I warned you about that.
Fucking cats.
Right. Okay.
I was going to say a raccoon, but we're not in the upper Midwest.
No. Right. Okay. Thanks for people for watching this. There'll be another episode in a couple of weeks' time. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much. Goodbye for now. Thanks.
Yes,
Thank you.
bye.
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 Bye.